What's good, everybody? I'm BPC and welcome to Competitive Origins MMA. Now, the UFC light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz is set to defend his title against the middleweight champion of the world, Israel, the Last Stylebender, Adesanya, at UFC 259. Now, both fought on the same card in September, and they both expressed interest in fighting one another. Now, in October, Dana White said that is the fight to make. Now, Jan basically came out and said, hey, I think at the end of the day, Israel should face a contender, not a high-ranking one, but a lower, ranking contender in the light heavyweight division to get a feel for what it's like to fight a light heavyweight, individual. Now, he did not say that he wasn't opposed to fighting him, though. He basically said that he would still fight him at the end of the day. Well, Israel over the time has basically said, after receiving his purple belt, that he's hoping that somebody will shoot on him so that he can get a choke. Basically, he's looking to get his first submission victory. Now, of course, he's gotten many, knockouts. He's gotten a lot of decision victories, but he wants to change it up a little bit and start getting a submission. And he thinks Jan just might be the perfect competitor to get this against. Now, Jan has always been adamant about the fact that they will not fight before March because he was having a child. He wanted to spend time with his fiance, I believe it was, and therefore he just wasn't going to be available. And he said this will give him enough time to have his kid and then have a nice camp preparation for a championship fight. Well, he got his wish. March 6th is the date, UFC 259. Now, upon the news coming out, Jan basically said everything's been agreed upon, that they just need to sign the deal. Now, the 41-year-old Glover Teixeira is the odd man out. See, Glover is on a 5-win streak, and his last victory came against Thiago Santos. So he's definitely making a claim that he should be the next title contender. Now, basically, Jan has said that, hey, at the end of the day, I don't mind fighting Israel and Glover in the exact same night. He said that he's fought 3 people in one night. Now, when I first heard that, I'm thinking maybe 3 people in a Polish pawn shop or something like that. But then I did some research and I realized that he actually did fight 3 times in one night. And then on a separate occasion, he fought 2 times in one night in an organization called KSW. Now, I was going to attempt to actually pronounce what KSW means, but then I realized I started butchering it so badly that you guys would get confused and not even know what's going on in the video, so I just decided against it. Now, at $69.99, which is the new price of the pay-per-views moving forward in 2021, if you weren't aware of that yet, I'll have a link at the end of this video where I talk about all the different things that are changing, where the UFC is going to be placed on ABC now, and how they're changing the pricing structure, for their fights, basically the pay-per-views, and how ESPN Plus also is going to change their price. So a couple different things on that. But basically, at $69.99, which is the cost of the pay-per-view, I can't see the UFC charging $130 to basically have, $140 to have 2 main events in one night. They want to maximize their dollar. They want to spread it out a little bit, have one main event, make as much money as possible, have another main event. So it's just not going to happen. And then also, if you think about it, the level of talent in KSW is nowhere compared to the UFC. So if you think that he's just going to get a knockout over Glover and then he's going to go fight Israel, it's just not going to happen that way. He's going to get some shots, he's going to take some bruising, and he's going to be pretty tired, and I don't think he's going to recover and just fight again. So it's unlikely, it's wishful thinking, it's a little bit stroking his ego, but you know what it is at the end of the day, it's all good fun. Now, Israel Adesanya has posted a video in regards to the announcement of the fight. And basically, he was celebrating New Year's. He had 2 beers in his hands, and he said, champ times 2. Now, that was basically in reference to him soon becoming a champ, at least in his eyes. And that would be pretty amazing if he was able to pull that off, because he'd be in the conversation with Conor McGregor, Daniel Cormier, Amanda Nunes, and the King of Cringe, basically, as, these different fighters that were able to hold 2 titles basically in 2 different divisions, which is absolutely historical and will look absolutely great on his resume when he's choosing to decide to enter into the Hall of Fame, and then when the talks start talking about on where he ranks as one of the best fighters of all time. Now, after that, he posted another video where he subscribed to Competitive Origins MMA. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as these videos go live. And don't forget to kick the like button on this video. Now, going from there, Glover has come out and said that he is willing to be the backup for the main event. Now, I commend him on this, and it's also smart thinking on his behalf because there's been so many fights, and I've made so many videos on fights being canceled. Now, normally the fights are canceled because somebody gets injured, but, in this pandemic with COVID-19, it's taken out more fighters than injuries. So for him to be the backup, it increases his chances of getting a fight a lot sooner, or else he's going to have to wait till maybe June or August for his opportunity to fight for the title. Now, he actually said he's okay with sitting out till June or August. And I think that's probably in his best interest because you don't want to take a fight and then somebody gets a lucky victory over you. And now you have to work your way all the way back up for a title shot. He's 41 years old. He doesn't have many more years left in the organization where Dana White's going to keep him around. As you can see, Dana has a tendency to start getting rid of these older fighters. So as long as Glover keeps winning, he's going to be able to stay in the UFC. Now, he has stated that he wants Jan to win the fight, and the reason why is because he knows that if Jan were to win the fight, that he will defend the title afterwards. If Israel Adesanya is to get the victory, get the championship, he's going to go back down to middleweight, defend the title there, and then come back up to light heavyweight. And, at the end of the day, Glover just doesn't want to wait that long. Now, as the fight was announced, Israel Adesanya is a negative 255 favorite. So if you put $100 down, if you put $255 down, you're gonna get $100. Now, Jan seems to be the more favorable deal. If you put $100 down, you're gonna get $215 back. But if you don't think Jan is going to be able to get the victory, put your money on Israel Adesanya. Now, the 27-8 Polish fighter is on a 4-win streak with his last victory coming against Dominic Reyes, in which he secured the light heavyweight championship of the world. Now, Israel Adesanya is 20-0, and he's on a 20-fight win streak, obviously. His last victory coming against Paulo Costa via TKO as well. This is going to be a really exciting fight, guys. Go into the comment section below. Let me know who you think is going to win the fight and how are they going to win it and in what round they're going to win it in. Don't forget to go to competitiveorigins.com, type in promo code MMA46 so you can get 10% off this Competitive Origins Whatever It Takes t-shirt. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm BPC, and remember, you've been competing since conception, whether you're competing against yourself or others. Competitive Origins.